Alright, product review time, and today we are taking a look at this Wilko Ratchet Socket set with storage case. So, yeah, not really an unboxing, partly because I've already had this out and I've been using it this afternoon, and partly because this is the box. This is how it sits on the shelf. The only thing they take off is they normally put a security tag over here to stop, I'm guessing people keep stealing tools from Wilko's. But yeah, so let's put the dog out. So yeah, I bought this this afternoon. I've been doing some work on one of the cars, which will be subject of another video to come a little bit later once I've finished working on it. And yeah, I already have a socket set which I've had for, well, at least a decade. It's always done me well. But in this instance, it didn't actually go up to the size I needed. It only goes up to 13mm, and naturally, of course, I then needed a 14mm socket. Also, some of the big heavy-ass bolts I was removing were just a bit too much for it. It's designed for small jobs, and I needed something bigger. So we've got this. Let's open it up and have a look. So I'll start by saying this is quite a nice little case for it. You've got the handle, it does close securely. You've got to press them all the way in, but it does close securely. The only thing I've found is if you just press them lightly, they don't always, yeah, if you just sort of bring it down, just shove it, you've got to really make sure you push it all the way in. Other than that, it's a good case. Open it up. It says 42 piece on the front. I haven't counted, but it's probably 42 pieces by the time you've counted all of these. I'll count them in a minute, but whatever. So yeah, inside you get, obviously, your sockets. You get these things here, which are your various screwdriver sets. I have loads of these little strips of bits. They're just everywhere. They seem to come in every set of tools I buy. You get an extra set. So they're just all over the place, but I'll keep those in there because it's useful to have them in different places, so at least it's easier to find them. You get two little extensions. You get this little doobie-doo, which I haven't used yet, but that's pretty much you. So you can use the end socket there. Oh, I think you can just shove that in there. No, you can't shove that in there. Alright, that's just a driver on its own then. Interesting. Oh wait, no it's not. I'm being dense. It's for these things. Now you go in there and there, and then you can... So that's on loose mode. And you turn that. And that is on tighten. Or you put that in the middle. And it's just locked both ways. Now. That's what that's for. I thought when I didn't actually look at this properly until now. I just sort of brought it home and started using it. So yeah, that is for these little bits, because I don't think they fit in this. No, I don't think they are going to fit. That one might do. Yeah, that one does. So, oh yeah, so you would use that like that, and then you can put, well, not that one of these on the end there like that. There's a bit of play in that, but yeah, if you were trying to do a bolt up somewhere small, you can do that like that. Alright, so yeah, figured that out. Let's put that away. I suppose that doesn't allow you to attach this. But then again, if you're using these sorts of sockets, they're obviously going to be far too much for this little screwdriver. So alright, we've figured that out then. So you get a little adapter for putting your small sockets onto here. Quite useful. What's this? Oh, it's just the same thing again. Alright. Move on from that. So yeah, that's quite handy. Can function as screwdriver and I suppose small socket wrench if you want it to. And then you've got the main one here. Now it doesn't come dirty. It was, when I got it, this bright red colour that's typical of so many Wilko products. So like I said, I bought it this afternoon, came home and immediately started working on the car in it. So it's now, well, it's properly worn in, it's mucky. I will try and give it a clean later, and I'll show you how easily or how difficult they can be cleaned. They are to clean, rather. But yeah, so far this afternoon I've been pretty impressed with it. I have, well, the long and short is I've been trying to remove, well not trying, I have removed the power steering pump from a Mark II Mazda MX-5 to gain access to the water inlet pipe into the water pump. And I've managed to get that one bolted as well with this tool set. I did have to use other tools as well. I've got a spanner set that I needed for undoing 2 bolts at the same time, but yeah. This has done most of the work, and I'm really quite impressed with it. So it's simple to use. So this was the one, that's the 15mm, that's the 14mm, and it is literally push them on. There's little to no resistance, and then they work just like anything else, really. Flick that over, and it then ratchets the other way. There's no like middle ground. If you put it in the middle, it then just spins freely. It has to be one or the other. But I don't know why you'd want middle ground on one of these. If you want to lock it, just use a spanner. But, yeah. So, and they need a bit of force to remove them, but it's a brand new tool. So, yeah, once it wears in, but it's not a massive amount of force. I've had somewhere you snap a socket on, and then you can't get the ruddy thing off. So, yeah, so these larger ones here go on this side, and then these smaller ones go on this side, like that, and then it's the same again. The only thing is, if you're loosening something with this side, or rather that's on tightening at the moment, you flip it over, it's then on loosening. You have to remember to flip that over because you flipped your tool over. But there's nothing they can do about that, you know. Just got to remember to flip your tool over, flip the thing round. Probably the most useful thing about this is you pull this little collar down like that, and then it extends all the way out. Now that may not look like much, but it doubles the length of it and therefore doubles your leverage. And these little dimples down here, I mean, you can get it stuck. Oh, there we go. You can lock it at 1 if you just want it a little bit longer. That's all the way out. There we go. So yeah, you can just move it in. So if you need a bit more leverage but you're in a tight spot, there we are. I think it's stiff because it's brand new, and because I'm trying to do it on camera. So yeah, so you've got adjustable leverage. These fit very well. They are very well made. They are, size-wise, they are perfect. You know, if you've got a 14mm bolt, which is most of the bolts I've removed this evening, that's a nice, tight, snug fit. So it goes on, so there's less chance of rounding it off. And altogether, it's been a pleasure to work with this tool this evening. So yeah. Yeah, the box, I mean, all of this sits in this sort of hardish plastic. You can lift it out to see just in the box, and this is just, there's nothing really to it. I don't see why you would want to take that out. I mean, it's perfectly good, unless you were taking these out to put them in a larger toolbox, say one of the giant, you know, roller ones with all the drawers. Other than that, this is perfectly good, you know, in its box. You can walk around with it. Fucking dog's whining to be let back in now. Shouldn't make so much noise, should you, animal? So, yeah, all together, like I said, I've been working with this evening, and it's pretty good. Yeah, I can't fault it. So, yeah, I haven't used every single socket, but I've used this a lot. Haven't used these, or this. I've used these two, and various other sockets around. So far, so good. Decent bit of kit. Really, fairly typical of Wilko's, really. They do sell some pretty decent quality tools. I mean, I wouldn't expect, say, a professional. If you're a full-time mechanic in a garage, I mean, I have actually known some mechanics like that. A master technician of nearly 50 years, I used to know, bought some of his tools from Aldi. Said they work just as well as the expensive ones, so maybe a professional would want these, but I think they like to go for the snap-on vans and such like. I think it's just a badge of honour to have snap-on everything for a lot of them. You know, blow your fucking life savings on a spanner. But for us amateur amateurs out there, this is perfect. So yeah, happy with it. Can't remember how much it was, but I shall look it up and put it on the screen now. And yeah, that's all I can say about it. I shall be using this a lot more tomorrow, so if things changes I will of course post an update. But I'm happy with this. I'm very happy with this actually. I'm glad I bought it. So, only other thing. Now, I thought this was annoying and weird at first, and I was going to try and rearrange them. But you've got two sets of sockets in here, really. You've got these large ones here, and then the smallest set down here. Now, you take they do one flow into the other. That's a 13mm, that's a 13 as well. But then they carry on, so that's a 14 and that's a 15, and then this one, if we should count down, yep, that's a 12, that's an 11, so on and so forth. So yeah, you've got two 13s for some reason. They're slightly smaller than one another, so I suppose that one will be slightly better in tight spaces. But what was weird was you start at the biggest, work your way down to the smallest, and then all of a sudden you switch from smallest to working your way up to the biggest. Now, I would have thought you would want to go down to your 13s and then just keep getting smaller all the way around. But no. I mean, I feel pedantic saying it now, but I was thinking, why is it that way around? That's just confusing the hell out of me. And I realised this half go on the larger side, and this half go on the smaller side. So what you've actually got is two sets of sockets going smallest to biggest, just out like that. So yeah, bit of an, well, I thought it was an odd design of packaging, but it's in no way a bad thing. It was just an observation. I thought it was a bit weird. So that is it. The Wilko Ratchet Socket set with your storage case. Great product. As always from Wilko's, wouldn't expect anything less. Right, just quickly, as I'm packing everything up and getting ready to do the edit, I've just noticed one small downside to this. I was all prepared to say there are no downsides, this is a brilliant thing. And I still think it is. The actual tools inside, the important part, are brilliant. But the hinges on this case are not actual hinges. If we look as they come over, it's just bits of plastic jammed in there, and as you open and close the lid, you're just bending this plastic backwards and forwards. Now, I get why they've done that. It'll be far cheaper, I suppose, when they're making these cases, just make one lower and one upper, and then presumably they just jam the lid into here. You can see there's like a little tab at the bottom. It just sort of pokes out. Doesn't seem to be anywhere to easily remove it. It's probably not designed to be taken back out. But yeah, bit concerning that over time, backwards and forwards, that plastic's going to start to break apart, and then the lid will come loose, and there's nothing else holding your socket set in once you've lost the lid. And of course, once they break off, it's then going to pivot around the front hinges. It will pivot that way. So yeah, I'm sure it's probably years and years away, but they probably want to work on the design of those hinges. But other than that, still a great product, still highly recommend. That's the only downside I can find, and it's actually quite a small one. It's a bit nitpicky, really. So yeah, we'll leave it at that. Thank you for watching. Okay, so just one last thing before we go. I said I would try and give this a clean, and I have done. And as you can see, I basically just ran it under a cold tap and rubbed it with my fingers. And it's not perfect, but then again, I didn't really put that much effort into it. I mean, I'm going to go out in a minute after I've finished editing this video and keep working on this engine, so it's just going to get mucky again. I'm working on a car engine, an old car engine, so they're never going to stay clean. But, I mean, if you're the sort of person who likes to clean their tools after they're done with them, not that I like to leave mine dirty, But this rubberized handle is never going to stay the bright red that it comes out of the factory with. It's just not going to happen. But I'll make sure everything else is okay. You don't want to get in rusty on you. I mean, if we compare it to this, that's the red that they always come in. So it's not too bad. But yeah, if you're the sort of person who likes to keep their tools absolutely immaculate after every use, that could be cleaned. Warm water, a bit more effort than I put in, and it'll come out alright. Or if you're really concerned about it, just don't get ones with these rubber handles. Just get ones that are all metal. And then whatever gets on them, you know, engine oil, grease, whatever, you just wipe it off with a rag and it's clean again. So yeah, I said I'd give it a go at cleaning. I have done. It can be done, but I'm not that fussed. I mean, it's going to be mucky again in about the next 5-10 minutes anyway. So yeah, we'll leave it at that, and thank you for watching.